So, what's up, everyone? This is James off the cuff again, and I left this video way too late in the day to record. The sun is starting to set in London town at the moment, but I promised myself to be here every Monday, give you guys a video about things that's on my mind that you may perhaps resonate with. So, today I wanted to kind of discuss, just been eating some chocolate. Today I wanted to discuss being the youngest of the family. It's being the last born, being the quote unquote baby of the family, which I am. I am the youngest of, I always have to count, 6, 7, 8. I'm the youngest of 9 children. So, yeah, I am the youngest of my mother and father. So, yeah, growing up, I would say there was less pressure on me because my older siblings, my 2 sisters that I grew up with, had already done a lot of things. I felt like I got a lot more freedom at a younger age. I don't know if that's because I'm a boy, but I was able to go out as a kid, and we're talking about the early 2000s, and be able to be home by 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. I know for a fact it was a different rule for my 2 older sisters growing up. They had to be home a lot earlier. So I was given a lot more freedom. Do I feel an element that I'm trying to catch up with my sisters? No, not at all. My middle sister's 4 to 5 years older than me, and my older sister is 8 years older than me. And that's from the siblings that I grew up with. But I do have 6 other half siblings that I didn't grow up with because they're a lot older than me. But growing up, they were kind of seen more as like aunties and uncles, even though they were my half brothers and sisters. Very interesting family dynamic, but that's for another video. So I would say I kind of did learn from my siblings' mistakes, and they was able to give me a lot of advice in terms of what I could do to kind of win my way over my mum and dad. That noise is really annoying. Who chooses 7:30 to start cleaning? Anyway, where was I? They sometimes say there's a notion of being the entertainer when you're the youngest of your family. You tend to be a bit more humorous and show a bit more charisma because you're trying to gain the attention of your parents. Do I feel like that's the same for me? Not necessarily. I would say I probably was the most vocal. Oh my god. Sorry. I would say I probably was the most vocal in terms of sharing my talents, my abilities, maybe. I was never really shy of the camera as a kid. My dad was known for always having his camcorder out to record me doing whatever it be, maybe singing at a school play or dancing in the garden. It was always captured on camera. So I guess I kind of did fall into the quote unquote quote unquote character of being the entertainer of the family, the one who would tell the jokes and make people laugh, but not intentionally. There definitely was a struggle to be taken seriously. Being the youngest of the family, you definitely kind of have to really be as loud as you can to make sure that your opinion and thoughts and feelings are acknowledged, I would say. And in terms of the dynamic, because my siblings were 5 to 8 years older than me, they kind of did act like whether they wanted to or didn't, they kind of did act like second parents, so like second moms for me, whether that be taking me to school or buying me new clothes or coming to parents' evening. You know, they kind of did step up and be second parents, especially when um, my mum got ill. My sister definitely became the matriarch of the household and was cooking the dinners and everything. And um, I kind of did was able to kind of take a seat back around those times. So yeah, again, you are still kind of seen as the baby growing up in the household. Was there or is there any sibling rivalry? There was no sibling rivalry from me. There has been moments when, be careful what I say because they may one day see this video, but there has been moments where I have felt as though they have been envious of the treatment I would get. So, for example, when I turned, I think my 12th birthday, and my parents bought me a bike, and silly enough, I rode that bike to school. I rode it halfway to school and parked it by the train station, and it was stolen um, by the time I came back from school. I should have known to not leave it there all day, but it was a big thing in my household that my parents even bought me this £250 bike, and my sisters made it be known that they never received such grand presents. So I guess I can say I was slightly more spoiled than my older siblings in that respect. Um, do I feel like I'm being left behind? I've never felt like I'm being left behind. I've always had a strong sense of my time is my time. Um, I try not to compare myself to my sisters because bearing in mind they are 5 to 8 years older than me, and they're women, so their life choices are gonna be somewhat different to my own in terms of when they want to do things. They both have kids now. Do I want kids? Uh, it's not something that I definitely want. If I'm with someone and they want to have kids, then great, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I own my own property. They both own their own homes. Um, what else? My thing for me is always just to make sure that I have my own sense of happiness in my life. Um, I never try to compare myself to anyone, including my sisters. So there's definitely no sibling rivalry from my side. But who knows? There might have been at some point throughout the years me being envious of them doing something or going somewhere or yeah, who knows? But I would I want to would I have wanted a younger sibling younger than me? Mm, maybe. I did kind of feel lonely as a kid. I will say that. And maybe it would have been nice to have had someone slightly younger for me to kind of put my focus and energy into also. But as I've gotten older now, I guess that's what my nieces and nephews are for. So no, I wouldn't wish I was born in any other place in my sibling ranking order. So yeah, just a quick video today, just about being the youngest child and a few examples of things that I experienced, and I wonder if anyone else has experienced anything similar. And we were all millennials, so it was a very interesting time in terms of things that were coming out around that time. So it was like the boom of the internet. Um, I remember at one point my dad had to put together a timetable, a schedule when each of us could use the Windows 95 in the living room. So we weren't treated equally. There was no, I don't think there was any favoritism. I think my parents did the best they could to treat us all the same, regardless of our ages or genders. Um, so yeah, we were coming up when we would watch live TV. We would be on the internet, MSN. Um, yeah, it was a good time to grow up. So yeah, just a short video today. If you enjoyed any of this waffle, dialogue, conversation, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you here again next week. So have a great week. Bye for now.